welcome to another episode of the Issues of the Day podcast. We bring you the hottest issues and topics that are in the news and that concern most all people. We are not a political station, nor do we promote any one side of the story. We try to bring you the most current issues and look at them from all angles. Today we are going to speak about America Strikes Back. Today America started its strike back for the killing of our soldiers in Jordan. America is attacking over 85 targets in Syria and Iraq. This started at about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February 2, 2024. The B-1B bombers and other manned and unmanned aircraft are part of the strike force. A lot of the targets are command and control targets against Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, Quds Force and affiliated militia groups. The use of the B-1B bomber flown from the USA is a big deal since they carry a much more precision-targeted bombs and with a bigger payload. The broad range of targets, 85 in all, and quantity of weaponry used 125 precision munitions represents a bigger response than anything the U.S. has done in Iraq and Syria since October 7, but a smaller one than some critics of the Biden administration were urging. They said that this is a first step according to the administration. They say that they have taken out 7 facilities. These strikes on Friday were markedly more significant than previous attacks on Iranian-backed militias over the last several weeks, which have primarily focused on weapons storage or training facilities. But the administration is threading a needle. They want to deter and stop further attacks but avoid a full-scale conflict with Iran breaking out in a region already roiled by the continuing Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. Along with the IRGC, the U.S. was expected to target the Islamic resistance in Iraq, an umbrella group of militias backed by Iran. The Islamic resistance claimed responsibility for the Jordan attack, and the U.S. earlier this week attributed the attack to it. The facilities that were struck included command and control operations centers, intelligence centers, rockets and missiles, and unmanned aerial vehicle storages, and logistics and munition supply chain facilities of militia groups and their IRGC sponsors who facilitated attacks against U.S. and coalition forces, the statement added. Iranian telegram channels reported that the strikes targeted the headquarters of the Popular Mobilization Forces, a coalition of Iraqi militia groups that includes Iranian-backed militants that provide official security in Baghdad. Iran has yet to respond to the U.S. airstrikes. But Iranian president warned in an address earlier Friday that it would respond. This is the first in a series of attacks and more are to come. This is pushing America closer to an all-out war in the Middle East. There have been some undisclosed targets that they are not telling the public, but we were told that is not within Iran itself. Since this is the first wave of strikes, will America bomb inside Iran? There were no strikes on Iranian soil, and an Iranian warship in the Red Sea, thought to be involved in helping direct Houthi attacks on commercial shipping, was not targeted. The White House wanted to make an emphatic statement, a warning to Iran and its allies that the deaths of U.S. service personnel will not go unanswered, but did not want to trigger an automatic Iranian response. We don't know the extent of the damage or casualties caused by America's action, but by telegraphing its intentions over several days, Washington may have deliberately given Iran and its allies a chance to get personnel out of harm's way. There is specific mention of targeting the Quds Force, the elite unit of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards. That's significant, and consistent with some of the threats American officials had made in the run-up to tonight's strikes. The Pentagon is attempting to show forceful retaliation. Iran has already said this week it would respond decisively to any attack on its interests or nationals. Iran has acknowledged the role of the Quds Force in the conflicts in Syria, where it has advised forces loyal to the Iran president and armed thousands of Shia Muslim militiamen fighting alongside them, and Iraq, where it has backed a Shia-dominated paramilitary force that helped defeat the Islamic State. The coming hours or days will determine whether President Biden's attempt to calibrate the strikes by avoiding Iranian soil but going after Iranian personnel have deterred Iran's allies or have escalated the conflict. There is not report on how many militants have been killed today. It is still too early to tell. They are still assessing the situation. But they do stress this is the first of many strikes planned. Thanks for listening. Special edition to our podcast. Please come again. Please subscribe.